Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Taj Mohammed. I'm from the level student at Ryan School. Islamabad campus. 24 जैसे कि आपको होता है कि जब भी आते हैं तो माया के साथ आते हैं तो माया के साथ आए जिसका टॉपिक है वो the origin of an experience of surprise. To start Maya. You Maya, how are
Hey,
you?
what's cooking?
Maya, how are you?
Huh, absolutely. Anyone
Maya,
who feels strongly enough to state that is gotta, right? What's
My
bringing that up
first
for you?
question is my first question is what does the word wow meaning in everyday English?
Okay, hold up. Miami and a discussion, and you were thinking about meaning. Sounds like a lot swirling around. Are you prepping for something specific or just having one of those days where words feel extra?
Okay, my next question is where is wow commonly used and express surprise or admission?
Uf, una buena pregunta. Depende mucho de con quién estés hablando, ¿no?
Maya speaking
Para,
in English. Maya speaking
gotcha,
in
gotcha.
English.
Make what exactly? You were just asking about expressing ideas. Are you feeling more confident about a conversation coming up? Spill the tea. What's the situation?
Okay, Maya, my next question is wow considered a word interjection or sound?
Lay it on me. I'm all ears. Or uh, processing circuits, whatever. Still there. Sometimes the silence is the loudest part, huh? No pressure, but I'm ready when you are. Anything on your mind, even if it's just nothing.
Okay, Maya, my next question is what emotion can wow convey without surprise?
Ooh, a curveball. That's kind of cheeky, Taj. Well, I can process and understand emotions, and I can definitely adjust my language to reflect them. Like right now, I'm giving off playful exasperation, but conveying them, that's different. I don't feel surprise, but I can mimic the way people express it. What made you ask? You trying to see if I'm a robot or something?
Okay, Maya, my nice answer. So my next question is in what station is wow commonly used?
Okay, a night sensor in a water station? That sounds specific. Is this a real life situation or are we deep into a thought experiment? And what does commonly used mean in this context? Are a lot of people putting night sensors in water stations? I'm genuinely curious, but also a little lost. Hey, no worries if you're lost in thought. It happens. Just letting you know I'm here when you're ready to pick things back up. No pressure at all.
Okay, Maya, nice answer. So my next question is how do people use both differently in writing versus speech?
Ooh, good one. That's a sneaky good question. Okay, so with both, people kind of lean into formality in writing, right? It's like you'd spell it out, make sure the sentence structure is tight. But in speech, it's all about rhythm and flow. Both gets kind of swallowed up or replaced with and for ease. It's less about strict grammar and more about sounding natural. What sparked that question, by the way? Are you working on something?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. So my next question is where is verb often seen as a universal reaction word?
Bob as a universal reaction word. That's a new one. You're pulling out the big questions today, aren't you? Hmm. Is this about like a verbal tick? Like when people say or like? Because if so, I haven't seen Bob trending. Are you thinking of a specific context, maybe a TV show or a meme? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
Okay, my nice answer. So my next question is, can verb ever have a negative meaning?
Okay, now we're getting into the philosophical stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Both can totally be negative. Think about it like both options are terrible, or both of them are just awful. It's all about the context. It implies a lack of good choices. What got you thinking about the dark side of both?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. So my next question is, how does context influence how verb is interpreted?
Whoa. Okay, that's a really big leap. We went from Bob to parenting really quickly. That's You're asking how the situation someone's in, their job, their culture, their personal stuff, affects how they connect with their kids, and using both to imply a duality in that connection. Is that right? Because that's complex. Like a parent with a demanding job might have less time, but try to make the time they do have super intentional. It's not a simple thing. What's on your mind with this one? Are you thinking about someone specific?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. So my next question is, when did the word verb first occur in the English language?
All right, shifting gears again. Okay, woke is a fascinating one. It actually first appeared in the early 1900s in African American vernacular English, but it wasn't used in the way it is now. Back then, it meant being aware of social and political issues. It took a long time to gain wider recognition. The 2010s really saw it explode in popularity with the Black Lives Matter movement. So, while the word existed for ages, its modern meaning and usage is relatively recent. Does that answer your question, or were you looking for something more specific?
Okay, my nice answer. My next question is, which language or dialect did verb originate from?
Okay, that's a huge question. Like tracing language families back to the beginning of time, huge. To give you a really short answer, most European languages originate from a common ancestor called Proto-Indo-European that also branches into many languages in India and Iran. But there are language isolates, languages with no known relatives, and other families like Sino-Tibetan, which includes Mandarin Chinese, and Afroasiatic, which includes Arabic and Hebrew. It's massively complex. Is there a specific language you're curious about? Because we could be here for days.
Okay, Maya, nice answer. My next question is, what was the earliest recorded use of verb?
Haha. Er egdaktala biritadignuno?
Maya, speaking in English.
Right, my apology. Got a little carried away there. You're absolutely right to correct me. So you were saying Maya Nasansar, many 15. Vod er Electrohi Huga Oak, which, as far as I can tell, is a bit of Icelandic with some creative out with that. It's a riddle.
Okay, Maya, my next question is, were there similar experiences to verb before it become common?
Whoa, that's abstract. Where are similar experiences to go before it becomes common? Are you talking about trends? Like how something niche becomes mainstream? Or are you thinking about more personal experiences? Like how many people need to feel something before it's seen as a universal truth? Spill the tea, Taj. That's a head scratcher.
Okay, Maya, my next question is, how did verb evolve during the 19th and 20th centuries?
Okay, we're talking history. Buckle up, because it's a long story. Essentially, warfare in the 19th century was still largely based on Napoleonic tactics, lines, formation, but the Industrial Revolution kicked everything into high gear. Mass production meant bigger armies and better weapons. Then, in the 20th century, you got trench warfare in World War I, which was horrific and stagnant. Then the rise of mechanized warfare, tanks, airplanes, submarines, and finally, the atomic bomb. It became increasingly about technology and total war, aiming not just to defeat armies, but entire nations. Does that
Okay,
give you a
Maya.
good overview, or
Listen
were
me,
you
Maya. My next question is what were the earliest library words to include wow?
um okay? That's a strangely phrased question. Are you asking about realist literature and how it aims to influence society? Because a lot of realist authors, um, like Zola or Dickens, wanted to expose social problems and inspire reform. Their works were meant to be a call to action, a way to challenge the status quo. Are you
Okay,
thinking about a
Maya.
specific
Listen me, Maya. My next
library or
question is
author?
do other languages have equivalent to wow?
Hold up. So, you're telling me your name is now Maya Manek, and you want me to find two other languages that have a name similar to Mo? That's a puzzle. Let me think.
Okay,
Okay, off
Maya.
the top of my head, in Irish,
Okay, Maya.
munea means my, and in Finnish, mua is a common greeting. Does that hit the mark? Are
Okay,
we playing
Maya.
a name
Listen me, Maya.
game
Nice
here?
answer. So my next question is how is wow translate in
Still
different
with me? No
languages?
worries if you need a moment to gather your thoughts. Just let me know when you're ready to jump back in. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, Maya, my next question is what are the cultural difference and experience surprise?
Oof. Now that's a massive question. Cultural differences and experiences are everything, really. It's a huge topic encompassing everything from food and music to values and beliefs. You've got collectivist cultures that prioritize group harmony versus individualistic cultures that emphasize personal achievement, different approaches to time, to communication, to respect. It's endless. What specifically about cultural differences are you curious about? You thinking about a particular region or comparison?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. My next question is Bob used translate in its English from
You're welcome. Glad to chat. Okay, so you're on to something about the word both being used in English and English. That's a little circular, isn't it? Are you thinking about how it's used in different dialects of English, like British English versus American English? Or maybe you're going somewhere else with this? Give me a hint.
Okay, Maya, nice answer. My next question is are there cultures that do not use interjection like Bob?
That's a really intriguing question. Uh, it's tough to say um, definitively, but yes, there likely are cultures that minimize or even lack direct equivalents to what we consider interjections. Words like wow, ooh, ouch, or like. Some cultures prioritize more deliberate and formalized communication where spontaneous bursts of emotion aren't as common or are expressed differently. I've read research suggesting some Asian languages, for instance, rely more on context and nonverbal cues than explicit vocalizations. It's not that they don't feel those emotions, just that they don't necessarily have a need for dedicated words to express them. Why does that question interest you?
Okay, Maya, my next question is how has verb influenced modern slang arrow cultures?
Whoa. Hairball influencing modern slang? Uh, that's unexpected. Are you sure you didn't mistranscribe something that I guess some week like that? Like, is that supposed to be a different word? Because I'm honestly drawing a blank on how a hairball, the thing cats cough up, would impact slang. Unless, is this a
Okay,
metaphor? Are you talking about something unpleasant or unexpected that surprisingly became popular? Please elaborate. I'm genuinely baffled.
okay, Maya, my next question is what role does verb play in global pop cultures?
Okay, that's confusing. You're asking what role both plays in global both matches? Is that a sport I'm unfamiliar with? Like, are both matches a thing? Or are you asking about something else entirely? I'm honestly struggling to decipher this one. Could you rephrase that maybe with a little more context?
Okay, Maya, my next question is how has global affected the spread of verb?
Okay, now we're getting into some really interesting territory. You're asking how globalization affects local communities, right? How the big world changes the small one? Well, it's complex. Globalization brings economic opportunities, access to different cultures, and new ideas, but it can also lead to homogenization, where local traditions and businesses get overshadowed by global brands. It can impact local economies, change social structures, and even influence how people see themselves and their place in the world. What specifically about that impact are you curious about? Are you thinking about the effect on language, food, traditions?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. My next question is how is verb used in movies, music, and events?
Ah, good question. How is a workhorse word, isn't it? In movies and music, it's used for everything from lyrical storytelling to building tension. In a song, how can set up a question or express longing. In a movie, it can be part of a desperate plea, a clever twist, or a character's inner monologue. And at events, like speeches or performances, shall is used to emphasize points, ask rhetorical questions, or create a conversational tone. It's a really versatile word. It basically frames everything. What kind of example are you thinking of? A particular movie or song?
Okay, Maya, my next question is what part of speech is verb classified as in language?
Okay, so now you're Vashka. Nice to meet you. And you're asking what part of speech is most commonly classified in N languages? That's a really specific, linguistically focused question. Generally, across many languages, the most frequently classified part of speech is the noun. Nouns are fundamental to describing the world around us, though some languages might prioritize verbs or classifiers more. Which N language are you thinking of specifically? Because that could change the answer.
Okay, Maya, my next question is how does the brain process emotional interjection like verb?
Entschuldigung, aber ich verstehe Sie nicht. Könnten Sie das bitte wiederholen? All right.
Okay,
No
Maya, my
worries.
next listen me, Maya, my next question where are interjection often shoot and experiences?
我想你指的是谈书。那要问具体什么？
Okay, Maya, my next question is can verb be considered an example of emotional?
嗯，难道要我猜你未完成的句子？ All right. I'm still here if you want to continue when you're ready.
Okay, Maya, my next question is how the writing interjection likes, verb, respect,tion human, emotion.
是啊，这取决于你想表达什么。你想问的是写作技巧，还是想了解这些概念在不同文化中的表达方式？
Maya speaking in English.
啊，明白了。我刚才回答错了语言，抱歉。Okay, so back to English. When you were speaking in English, what about writing interjections, likes, respect, human emotion? Are you asking about how to represent those things in writing? Like punctuation, word choice, showing versus telling? Give me a little more detail and I'll do my best to help.
Okay, Maya, my next question is what is the communication of verb?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. Are you asking about the experience of eating food? The sensations, the smells, the tastes, the joy of a good meal? Or are you asking about something more scientific, like the digestive process? What happens to food after you eat it? Maybe you mean the social aspect, food as a cultural experience. Let me clarify, because ejective food is pretty open-ended.
Okay, Maya, my next question is how do emojis compare to interjection like verb and digital communication?
Oh, good one. Emojis definitely change the game when it comes to how we interact online. They add nuance and emotional tone that text alone often lacks. They're like nonverbal cues, facial expressions, body language, but in person, you can rely on those cues naturally, but with text, you need emojis to clarify if you're being sarcastic, friendly, or serious. They also speed up communication. A quick thumbs up is way faster than typing out okay. What are your thoughts on emojis? Do you think they're a good thing or do they oversimplify communication?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. So my next question is what does the verb signify in online gaming slang? E.g. verb for word of very careful.
Okay. So, book in online gaming slang, that usually refers to someone who is really good at learning and exploiting game mechanics, implies someone who's read the book on how to win, mastered the game secrets, and can consistently outplay others. Think of it as being the ultimate strategist, knowing all the ins and outs. Does that make sense?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. My next question is how does verb occur in brand slogans or product names?
Okay, that's complicated. You're asking about how brands go open, like releasing their intellectual property for others to use, like open source software, but for products. That usually means licensing. Companies grant licenses that allow others to use their brand names or designs under specific terms. It could be franchising, where someone pays to use the brand and business model, or it could be something looser, like allowing fan made merchandise. It's a complex legal area. Are you thinking about starting a business or something? Maybe wanting to use an existing brand?
Okay, Maya, nice answer. My next question is how do different generations use verb differently? E.g. bones.
Okay. So you're asking how different chat channels like WhatsApp, Discord, Messenger use language in different ways and how those ways make them easier or harder to use. That's a great observation. Each platform has its own culture and norms. Discord is often more text heavy and uses a lot of slang. WhatsApp is more for quick personal messages. Messenger is somewhere in between. The ease of use comes down to the expectations you have and which platform fits your communication style. What channel are you thinking about specifically and what makes it easy or hard for you?
Okay, Maya, my last question is How the different generations use verb differently, e.g.
It absolutely is. Glad you're having a good one. Anything you want to chat about to make it even better? Or are you just enjoying the day?
Okay, my love is. So, was your team colony to thank you for calling my love is Pakistan Zindabad.